Hello and you're welcome to the business segment of News Recap here on News Ghana Clock. We are coming to you from our news hub here in Osu. My name is Hegel Fusono. Coming up in this bulletin, President Akufo-Addo has charged the Bank of Ghana to help local banks to grow and survive. Also, government has issued a 3-month ultimatum to fake textile retailers to remove all pirated textile materials from the market. Also, the Bank of Ghana is to soon make public banks that are likely to miss the recapitalization by July. And so we have details of these and more coming up in this bulletin. Do stay. Now let's start off with our first story. President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has said that a banking sector dominated by foreign-owned banks does not augur well for the Ghana Beyond Aid project. He's therefore charged the Bank of Ghana to help local banks to grow and survive. Now, delivering an address at the 3rd CEO Summit organized in Accra on May 21, 2018, President Akufo-Addo stressed that a nation's economic fortune is often as good as its banking system and the confidence in its monetary environment. Now, according to him, the sustainability of the banking and financial sectors is crucial for rapid economic growth and investment. Now let's stay a while longer on the Ghana CEO Summit as the International Monetary Fund Country Director, Ms. Natalia Koliadina, says that Ghana holds a bright economic outlook if the macroeconomic growth achieved so far is sustained. Now speaking at the Ghana CEO Summit 2018 in Accra, she applauded the government for very successful performance in last year in terms of macroeconomic stability. Now, citing 2016 as an example, Ms. Koliadina said the fiscal deficit had been reduced by 9.3% of gross domestic product in 2016 to 6% of GDP last year. She therefore advised government to continue to adhere to prudent fiscal discipline in order to sustain the stability achieved so far. Now let's take you to the Ministry of Trade, where government has issued a 3-month ultimatum to fake textile retailers to remove all pirated textile materials from the markets or face the wrath of the Textile Task Force. The decision was reached after a meeting between the Ministry of Trade and Industry and the Industrial and Commercial Workers Union and textile manufacturers on Thursday. Now, addressing journalists in a joint press conference, the Minister for Trade and Industry, Alan Tremantin, stressed the aim of this tax stamp was not to completely ban the importation of textiles, but to regulate it and monitor those selling pirated or counterfeit textile materials in the market. Now, the Ministry of Finance is expected to begin implementation of the tax stamp policy on textile materials by September this year. Now, two other stories. Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Ernest Yedu-Addison, has said that the public will know the banks likely to miss the recapitalization by July. Dr. Ernest Yedu-Addison echoed the Bank of Ghana's deadline for the banks to meet the 400 million Ghanaian cedis capital requirement, which is on December 31, 2018. According to him, banks are being advised to consider measures and acquisitions to enable them meet the minimum capital requirement. He therefore added that he would furnish the media with details at the next press conference on the Monetary Policy Committee meeting. We now take you to the agricultural sector, where the Ministry of Agriculture said it is working to provide solar-powered irrigation facilities to aid in farming during the dry season. Now, this forms part of efforts to encourage an all-year farming. Now, government will also convert some of its warehouses in tomato growing areas into cold rooms to store excesses in growing communities. According to the Deputy Minister of Agriculture, George Oduro, these initiatives are geared towards ending the excessive importation of tomatoes from Burkina Faso. He made the revelations when he visited some tomato growing communities in the Bongahaf region and interacted with stakeholders. The Deputy Minister said the ministry will start a solar-powered irrigation facility by the end of December this year. Well, on this note, this is where we wrap up for the business segments of News Recap here on News Ghana Clock. But before we go, let's take a look at what made headlines. Well, President Akufo-Addo has charged the Bank of Ghana to help local banks to grow and survive. Also, government has issued a 3-month ultimatum to fake textile retailers to remove all pirated textile materials from the market. Also, we take it to the Bank of Ghana, where it is soon to make public banks that are likely to miss the recapitalization by July. Well, thanks so much for making time with us on this edition of Business Week. Remember, you can get more interactive with us on all social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and also on YouTube. The news was produced by Amulens Production. My name is Hegel.